to talk about compound lines and syncopation, and how we can use one of the most iconic introductions in piano pop music to learn about these concepts. This is Summer Highland Falls by Billy Joel. This is a great example from pop music that we can use to understand and practice the concepts of compound lines and syncopation. And if you want to just learn how to play the intro, you're watching the right video, because we'll show you how to do that as well. The harmony in the song is pretty basic. F major 7 over A, then G minor 7 to B flat. A minor 7 to C7, and then B flat, a 4 chord, to go back to the beginning of the progression. And on the left hand, we're just playing perfect fifths on every half note. This is a very effective way to voice your left hand in pop music. Playing perfect fifths on the left hand is always effective. Now the right hand is just a stream of 16th notes, nothing else. The interesting thing about this right hand pattern is that it creates a compound line by clearly using gaps to create different layers at different melodic ranges. Of course, the master of this technique was Bach. In his violin pieces, such as partitas or any other of his compositions, he used this technique to imply harmony and create compound lines constantly. And that's a very common technique used on melodic instruments, because it's impossible, or really hard, like on the violin, to play several notes at the same time. For example, if I play this, we can clearly hear the melody FGA on top of an F major chord. And that's because the gaps between the notes create 3 layers. The bottom layer is the note F, which doesn't move. The middle layer is the note C. And the top layer is F, G, and A. Each of these layers creates a line in a specific range. This is what we call compound lines, a simple line that creates the perception of other emergent lines. Of course, in the piano, we could play this. And we get the same melody and harmony. So what's the point of playing lines like this on the piano then? Of course, this is about movement and establishing a rhythmic grid. When I play this, the grid is a simple quarter note grid. But if I play this, then we get a 16th note grid. Or if I play this, we get a completely different grid. Now in Billy Joel's intro, the grid is a 16th note grid, but the different groupings of the notes create lots of syncopation. The really interesting thing about this piano intro is that we can choose to see 3 layers or 2 layers. That's because the gaps between the compound lines are not that large. For example, I can consider these notes as the top layer, and then the F and the C are my 2 bottom layers. Or I can consider some of these middle notes as being part of the top compound line, and then hear this. So these compound lines are kind of subjective. And the cool thing is that we get all this syncopation in the top layer, whether we choose to include the middle notes or not. You can see how this is a great trick for piano, because we're just playing 16th notes, but the audience hears all these cool syncopations, because they're perceiving the top layer, or layers, as a compound melody. A great exercise is to try playing the left hand and only the first top layer, like this. Or add a few of the middle notes to the compound melody, and we get this. But of course, it's much easier to play all of the notes. And it'll groove much better because we're playing a constant stream of 16th notes with lots of syncopation. So the question is, Is Billy Joel consciously, deliberately bringing out these compound lines, or do they naturally emerge as a consequence of the rhythm, the note placements, the shape of the hand, dynamics, and just solid writing combined with proficient execution? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Either way, focusing on or at least being aware of these compound lines will help most of you learn and play the song faster. So there you have it. We learned something about compound lines and syncopation from Billy Joel. As always, all of our members will receive a PDF with today's exercises, and the PDF will include a link to this video for future reference. And if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click on the join button right here on YouTube to get regular access to our exclusive content. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time.